I can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, my volume's on, it's on way up. I
Jeff, can
can
you hear us?
see that the screen is moving, like, um, code compliance is outlined blue when you try and talk, but I
Drew,
just can't
are
hear
you
you.
talking to her on the cell phone?
Yeah. Jeff, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay.
D- Is she talking to you on the cell phone, Drew?
Except for I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can
Okay.
one of you
Can you,
talk?
can you hear Jeff?
Can you hear anybody?
Hmm. Shit.
Drew, do you want to call her?
Yep.
Do you have her cell phone? You want me to bring your cell phone
Yes.
down?
No, my volume is way up. I turned, I turned it off and on.
Okay, testing. No? Nothing?
Okay. Uh, can I just dial in? Okay, hold on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Vanessa, can you hear us? Still can't hear you, Vanessa. Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hey, Vanessa. I can hear you.
Okay, and I can hear you guys through my phone. And I can see, most importantly, I can see the exhibits on the screen.
Okay, perfect.
So I think we're just going to have to do this workaround for the meeting.
Okay, that works fine. Let me talk to Tempe 11 real quick. If you're ready, I'll wait for the thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
When you're ready, Vanessa.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, August 17th, 2021. This is the second hearing this month for the City of Tempe hearing officer. My name is Vanessa McDonald. We have an unusual circumstance this afternoon. I'm joining by phone. We were having some technical difficulties. So I am talking on the phone, but I can hear city staff. Most importantly, I'm looking at my screen so I can see the exhibits that will be presented to me later on in the hearing. I'm going to go ahead and read something into the record quickly, and then we can jump into our agenda this afternoon. The City of Tempe hearing officer is authorized by Arizona Revised Statutes and the City of Tempe Zoning and Development Code. The hearing officer has the duty to carry out the provisions and the intent of the Zoning and Development Code and the Tempe City Code. The hearing officer is granted the authority to conduct public hearings to decide upon the abatement of code violations occurring on properties within the City of Tempe. These violations include, but aren't limited to, deteriorated landscaping, inoperable vehicles, deteriorated structures, storage of junk or refuse, or deteriorated swimming pools. Abatement actions are brought before the hearing officer by the city's Code Compliance Division, typically after numerous attempts at contacting the property owner to obtain voluntary compliance with the code. The hearing officer can issue an order directing the owner, occupant, rental agent, property manager, or other responsible person to abate a code violation or authorize the city to abate the condition giving rise to the violation. The cost of the abatement is the responsibility of the owner of the property where the violation occurs and may be collected as an assessment against the property found to be in violation. On today's agenda, we have 6 items. We have a set of minutes from August 3rd, 2021, and we have 5 property abatements. Any property owner who is aggrieved by a decision of the hearing officer can file an appeal within 14 calendar days after the hearing officer has made a decision. As such, the deadline for appealing any decision rendered today is 3 p.m. on August 31st, 2021. These appeals are heard by the Board of Adjustment, after which they also can be appealed to Superior Court. The property owner has 14 days to either file an appeal or bring the property into code compliance. If neither of these happen within this 14-day window, the property will be abated by the City of Tempe. Joining me this afternoon from Community Development are Jeff Tamulevich, Shelby Meyer, and Drew Yoakum. They're, of course, participating virtually since this hearing is being held via WebEx. So the first item on our agenda this afternoon is a set of minutes from August 3rd, 2021. I had a chance to review those minutes in the packet that I was given prior to this hearing, and I believe that they accurately reflect what took place at that hearing. So I'm going to go ahead and approve the minutes of August 3rd, 2021. Item number 2 is a request for abatement of public nuisance items at the Remmer property. This is located at 1019 East Henry Street. The applicant is the City of Tempe, represented this afternoon by Code Inspector Andres Lara Reyes. Are you there, Mr. Reyes? Oh, I'm sorry. I just noticed at the bottom that it says abatement request withdrawn, property in compliance. Is that the case? Mr. Yocum?
Yes, Madam Hearing Officer, this agenda item has been withdrawn today, so we'll move on to agenda item number 3.
Okay, I apologize. Then we are moving on to agenda item number 3. This is a request for abatement of public nuisance items at the Jones property located at 1331 East Palmdale Drive. The applicant is City of Tempe Code Compliance, represented this afternoon by Code Inspector Barbara Simons. Ms. Simons, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Madam Hearing Officer. My name is Barbara Simons, and I'm a Code Compliance Inspector with the City of Tempe Code Compliance Division. I'm here this evening to request a 180-day open abatement for the property located at 1331 East Palmdale Drive in Tempe, Arizona, 85282. The case was initiated on February 18th, 2021 for weeds in a gravel landscape. I have had very recent communication with the property owner who stated that the property would be in compliance by today. She also left a message yesterday asking for an extension. On February 18th, the property was proactively observed to have weeds in a gravel landscape. Notice to comply was mailed to Anna Jones with a reinspection date of March 8th of 21. On March 10th, the property was in the same condition and a final notice was sent. Between March 29th and April 20th, the property was visited weekly and was still in violation on each visit. On the 20th of April, I left her a voice message asking her to contact me. On April 28th, having heard nothing from the owner and the property still out of compliance, a citation was issued. On July 12th of 21, the property was observed to remain out of compliance, so I filed for an abatement hearing. I would now like to present photos taken today of the existing violation. The first photo shows that it's a corner lot with weeds and grass in the front and side yards going all the way back to the alley entrance. The next photo is a tighter shot of the front yard, and the last photo is a tighter shot of the side yard going back to the alley. As stated before,
and you said those were taken this morning, correct?
Actually, it was this afternoon.
Or this afternoon, okay. And did you hear from her today? What was your last communication with Ms. Jones?
My last communication was about 5:30 p.m. yesterday. She left me a voice message asking for, I don't want to say another, but asking for an extension, saying that she would try to get to it later this week.
Okay. So, well, thank you. Thank you for the presentation. Thank you for the photographs. Mr. Yocum, are there any members of the public, either the property owner or any other member of the public, wanting to speak on this agenda item?
We have not received any communication at this time.
Okay. Thank you. Well, Ms. Simon, I agree with your assessment of the property. I do believe it has to be cleaned up. While I appreciate the property owner's willingness to clean it up, it seems like there's been a period of unresponsiveness on her part. I did, as you know, at the beginning of the hearing, read the preamble, which talks about the 14-day window between this abatement hearing and when the property would actually be abated. So I'm going to go ahead and approve the abatement that you've brought before me contained in CE 211031. My hope is that she will take advantage of this window and go buy some, weed killer and do a thorough job of removing the weeds on her property within that time period, so that then the abatement, at least for the moment, would go away. Now, I do appreciate your diligence with this property owner, and would like to note that even though I'm hoping it goes away in 14 days, that you still have the 180 tool available to you so that you can stay on top of this property.
Thank you,
So,
Madam.
as I mentioned, you're welcome. I am approving the abatement request CE 211031. Thank you, Ms. Simons.
Thank you, Madam Hearing Officer.
You're welcome. Have a good night. That brings us to agenda item number 4. This is a request for abatement of public nuisance items at the Singh property located at 820 West Tulane Drive. The applicant is the City of Tempe Code Compliance, represented this afternoon by Code Compliance Inspector Julie Schofield. Ms. Schofield, are you there?
Good afternoon, Madam Hearing Officer, Julie Schofield, Code Inspector for the City of Tempe. I am here this
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Hello. I am here to request a 180-day open abatement for the property at 820 West Tulane Drive. And this case has been open since May 5th of 2021. And basically the violations that exist are grass and weeds in the gravel, overheight grass and weeds in the backyard, a couple of sidewalk obstructions, and junk and debris in the backyard as well. There is also a couple other violations that exist but are non-abatable. But this case has been open since May, like I said, and I have mailed a couple of notices to the owner regarding the violations. And there has been no change in the condition of the property. A final went out, and I did hear from what I believe was the stepdaughter of the owner, and she said that the owner had actually passed away and they were going to let the property go into foreclosure. But this property is still under ownership of the owner and is still has not been cleaned up. I have received multiple complaints for this property, and if you approve the abatement, we will take care of the landscaping, the junk and debris, and the sidewalk obstructions. I do have some pictures to show you of the property that were taken today. As you can see, this is a gravel landscaping. It just, the weeds are so overgrown that it does look like grass, but there's actually gravel under there. This is the front of the property. And the next picture is just a closer up picture to show you what the property looks like. This is one of the sidewalk obstructions. It's a mesquite tree, so there's thorns on it, and it does hang out quite a bit over into the sidewalk, as you can see, and there's a school right behind there.
Sure.
And then the next
And that's an
picture,
ADA crossing, which makes it even more important to fix that.
yes, I would agree. And then, as you can see, there's another tree in the background there that is obstructing the sidewalk as well. And this is a picture of the backyard showing the items. There's not a whole lot of items, but you can see there's a mattress, there is a water heater. So it's kind of some random stuff that we could have cleaned up and picked up. And then we'll also include cutting the overheight grass in the backyard.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ms. Schofield. Mr. Yoakum, do we have any members of the public? I think we understand the property owner is now deceased, but is there any member of the public wanting to speak on this item?
We have not received any communication at this time.
Okay, thank you. Well, given the complexity of the ownership of this property, now that the property owner is deceased and the intent is to let it go into foreclosure, I do think it's important now more than ever that you have the tool that you need to stay on top of this property, because it doesn't sound like it's going to get better anytime soon. Ms. Schofield, were you asking for 180 days?
Yes, Madam Hearing Officer, I was.
Okay, thank you. Well, I agree with your assessment. I think it's important that we stay on top of this property. As you mentioned, it's a corner lot. It's got an ADA street crossing. on the corner, and we need to keep that accessible at all times. So I'm going to go ahead and approve the abatement of the Singh property located at 820 West 2 Lane, contained in application CE 212864. Thank you.
Thank you.
That brings us to agenda item number 5. This is a request for abatement of public nuisance items at the Anders property located at 2156 East LaDonna Drive. The applicant is the City of Tempe, represented again this afternoon by Code Compliance Inspector Julie Schofield. Ms. Schofield.
Thank you again, Madam Hearing Officer. Julie Schofield, Code Inspector for the City of Tempe. And this case is for the property at 2156 East LaDonna Drive. And the issue is grass and weeds in the gravel and overheight grass and weeds in the backyard. I have sent multiple notices, and this case was initiated back in April, early April, sorry. And I have sent multiple notices. I've actually issued a citation, and the citation has gone without a response, and the property is still in violation. I have received a good handful of complaints for this property for the landscaping, and I would like to request 180-day open abatement to have this landscaping taken care of. And I do have pictures to provide for you to see. This is another property that is grass and weeds in a gravel. Landscaping is just very overgrown, even more than when I initially turned in the pictures for the abatement. It has grown significantly more. This is the front of the property, and this is just a closer up picture to show you. You can kind of see some of the gravel underneath there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the west side of the property. And this is a backyard picture of what the overheight grass and weeds now looks like. And so we would tackle that as well if approved.
Is there a fence in the backyard? Why is there the orange mesh there?
Well, there is no fence. I'm assuming the owner put that orange mesh up there. That was not our doing. They actually don't have to have a fence since there's no swimming pool, but that was already there.
Okay. Okay, well, as long as there's no swimming pool, I guess there's no, public hazard. And it's their private property. So, Mr. Yoakum, do we have anyone on the line wanting to speak on agenda item number 5?
No, Madam Hearing Officer, we've received no communication at this time.
Okay. Thank you. Well, again, Ms. Schofield, thank you for taking the time to do the inspection, to bring the photographs so that I can see the property, in its latest condition. I definitely agree that it needs to be remediated, and so I'm going to go ahead and approve your 180-day open abatement request for the property located at 2156 East LaDonna Drive, contained in CE 212241. Thank you, Ms. Schofield.
Thank you.
This brings us to our last agenda item, which is number 6. This is a request for abatement of public nuisance items at the Doyle property located at 4415 South Ventura Drive. The applicant is the City of Tempe, represented this afternoon by Michael Glab. Mr. Glab, are you here?
I am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Hearing Officer. My name is Michael Glab, and I'm a Code Inspector for the City of Tempe Code Compliance Division. I'm here this evening to request a 180-day abatement for the property located at 4415 South Ventura Drive, Tempe, Arizona 85282. This case was initiated on February 12th of 2021 for an inoperable unregistered vehicle. One complaint has been received by my office. I have had voicemail exchanges and live conversations with a tenant at the property. On February 12th, 2021, I visited the property and confirmed that there was an inoperable, unregistered vehicle violation present. I sent a violation notice to the property owner requesting the violation be remedied. On March 12th of 2021, I visited the property and confirmed there was an inoperable, unregistered vehicle violation present. I sent a second violation notice to the property owner requesting the violation be remedied. Between March 25th and March 26th of 2021, I exchanged phone calls and voicemails with Tiffany, a resident at the property. Additional time was requested and granted to comply with my request. On April 15th of 2021, I spoke with Tiffany once again, where she requested a second extension, which was granted as well. On May 11th of 2021, I visited the property and confirmed there was an inoperable, unregistered vehicle violation present. I then posted a third notice to the front of the structure. On May 25th of 2021, I visited the property and confirmed there was an inoperable, unregistered vehicle violation present. On May 26th of 2021, I then issued a citation to Mr. Doyle, the property owner, which was paid to the Tempe City Courts in June of 2021. I would now like to present a photograph taken today of the existing violation. There's a silver Nissan passenger car parked in the driveway. Tires are inflated at this time. However, the tires at the front are low. You can see the lip or the lower lip of the tire protruding out to the right there on the right side, the passenger side of the vehicle. Additionally, you can see the license plate is displaying expired registration tags. A registration check was ran prior to this hearing this evening, and it did confirm that the vehicle is still unregistered at this time. As stated before, I'm seeking an abatement for the addressing of an inoperable or unregistered vehicle located at the property at 4415 South Ventura Drive here in Tempe.
Okay, thank you. And what was your latest communication with the property owner or tenant, Tiffany?
Aside from the April 15th exchange, I have not been in additional contact with them.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Mr. Yoakum, are there any members of the public or is the property owner on the line wanting to speak about this agenda item?
No, Madam Hearing Officer. We've not received any communication at this time.
Okay, thank you. Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious it is an inoperable, unregistered vehicle, and I believe the property owner has been given ample time, multiple extensions to remedy the situation. It appears to me as though maybe they tried to make an effort by filling up the tires, but again, the vehicle remains unregistered, so it therefore is in violation of the Tempe City Code. So I am going to grant your 180-day open abatement request contained in CE 211017 for the items at the Doyle property at 4415 South Ventura Drive. So thank you, Mr. Glab.
Thank you, Madam Hearing Officer.
Well, that concludes the cases that we had this evening. Mr. Yoakum, are there any announcements from staff?
Yes, Madam Hearing Officer. The next meeting is actually going to be scheduled on a Wednesday. That will be Wednesday, September 1st at 5 p.m. And that will still be virtual via WebEx and Tempe 11.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me know. And that concludes our hearing this afternoon. Thank you all for your help. Thanks for the flexibility with our technical difficulties. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, Madam Hearing Officer.
Pretend I'm playing on you